Okay, maybe we're live. Looks like we are. See if I get everything checked, fixed up here. There we go. That up there. And down there. All right, Adrian. Maybe we'll be able to stream today. I think the weather's going to cooperate with us. Well, I say that. In the minute I say that, my shit goes red. And we start dropping frames like nobody's business. Now we're back in the green. Maybe we'll be all right. We'll give it a minute to kind of get itself sorted out, I guess. Now, wow. Yeah, looks like it's going to be choppy again today. It's the price you pay when you live out here in the sticks. Yep, looks like we're going to be a little choppy today again. You know, I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but I know out here in the desert, in the middle of summer, the sun messes with our internet. Sometimes I think it even messes with our satellite on the TV to a degree. And hey Neil, hey Adrian, and Cameron's joining us today. Glad to have you back, buddy. I apologize. It looks like we're going to be choppy today, but there ain't a whole lot I can do about it. I almost started looking like all the other damn live people and was late to the party. All right, you got your stubby with the 6-foot cables. Are you going to use that real big tank that comes with it, Neil, or are you going to put a different little smaller bore in it? I wanted to get one of them simply because it was a 21 700. There's Josh. How you doing, Josh? Yeah, they're a little high, but they seem to be okay. So you're using the big tank with the big steel cables and all that. That'd be fun to try. Not too sure it would fit my style of vaping too good, but I was like I say, I was nearly late to the party today. I had shot a video this morning, and I was in the middle of editing it, and I was kind of got into it, and happened to look down, and shit, it was 10 minutes till showtime, and I didn't even have a cup of coffee in front of me. I had to kind of catch a gear, otherwise would have been like these other people that keep you waiting 15 damn minutes before they start the show. That, and I don't care what excuse they come up with. A lot of them will say, well, it gives people time to get in chat. If people want to watch the show, they're already in chat waiting on your dumb ass to get there. Come on, And I'm the type of person, I really believe in the do unto others thing, that's saying. So, it irritates me when people do it. So I try my best not to do it. I try to, if my show says 1 o'clock, I try to be live at 1 o'clock. You got the purple one. They did come in some nice colors. They did do that. I very seldom, if ever, take my bigger mods and tanks out of the house. So, all right, Josh got him a fat rabbit. I tell you what, I think this is the only thing you can have dead rabbits and fat rabbits and white rabbits and everything else. Hey, Andrew. And all kinds of rabbits. I think, besides actually raising the damn things, I think this is about the only thing you can have all the multitude of rabbits. Josh says he's got big life changes coming soon. Well, move on out here, brother, and taste the sweet air of freedom. What little bit we got left. That'll change your life. Go walk down the street with a gun strapped to your hip, and nobody gives you any trouble about it. And I've been watching the news. They've had these teenager riots in LA and Detroit, I think, or Chicago. I don't remember, one of them blue ass cities up there that's pretty much a third world country. But you notice you never see that in a state that has open carry without any restrictions whatsoever, as far as having to have a license or any of that bullshit. You want a gun, if you're not a damn criminal, or got a record or anything, you want a gun, you go down to the pawn shop, buy you a gun. You just got to wait 2 weeks, I think. Strap it on your hip or tuck it in your coat. Out here, you can tuck it in, strap it on, And guess what? We don't have any of that bullshit. People riding and whatnot. So, Cameron, I'm not familiar with that Kylan Mini V2. I don't guess. Let me look it right quick. What the hell was that even? I don't even remember what that looked like. Really? I just had to. Are you 21? Yeah. Okay. Really? What fucking proof is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't say that's gonna be that would be for me either, Cameron. I don't think that. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't fit me. Uh, my style of vaping. I like the point that it has top airflow, but that's for sure enough cloud chasing, and that's just not my style. No, that wouldn't have fit me either. Yeah, Andrew, trust me, we don't have any problems. you know, when and even me now, I don't carry mine because my pistol is a 45 auto long slide, 1911, and the damn thing is hell, it's this damn big, it's a long ass pistol, and it's heavy as shit, and I just don't carry it because it's heavy, and but out here it's not that big a deal, even if you don't carry, because let's say you walk into a convenience store, okay, which of course I don't go into anymore, but if you watch the videos, that's where most people get attacked and whatnot. Well, if I walk into a convenience store, okay, and there's 5 or 6 more people in there. If there's 6 people in there, 4 of them's gonna have a gun. Okay, so if some idiot comes in while I'm there and tries to rob me or the store, yeah, they're getting shot. They will be shot. And I don't even have to go the trouble of carrying my weapon. So, that's the neat thing about it. When everybody's got a gun, yeah, and the criminals know this. So guess what? They don't do stupid shit. Now, yeah, they're still every now and then there'll be some houses broken into. The ones that you see around here the most are the ones if it looks abandoned, and they can tell nobody's there, then they'll break in and see what they can steal out of your house. But yeah, the carjackings, muggings, convenience store robberies, yeah, that's almost like non-existent in my area, because everybody's got a gun. And you know how some of these old boys are, that good old boy thing. They're just hoping they get to shoot somebody. Please, please try to rob me. That's their mindset. And they can say what they want about it, but that's their mindset. So, they won't hesitate shooting somebody. Well, actually, Neil, anything they would have done the other day would have quelled those teenagers, because they're just little kids. You could have sprayed them with the little guns they got now that are like paintball guns, but they shoot a little deal with red pepper and stuff like that in the little paintball or whatever. You could have just sprayed them with that shit, and they'd have been gone. Especially some young kid. You give him an eye full of pepper spray, he's done. He's done. Anything the cops could have done the other day, anything, totally non-lethal. Hell, they used to use fire hoses, and water out of a fire hose will knock you on your ass. It'll knock the breath out of you. They used to spray crowds with that. The problem was they did nothing. The cops did nothing except run and hide, which they were probably told to do that by their superiors. I have a good inkling that that's what happened. They were told not to go down there. And what am I missing out, man? Y'all are just running off and leaving me here. Yeah, I saw that. I just saw Net Vapor. I saw his post because, like I say, this morning I was shooting a video all morning, and then I was editing it, so I didn't really, I hadn't looked. I just saw it when I fired up YouTube to look to see if I was live, to check to make sure I was live. So I hadn't got to watch his video yet. Yeah, Net Vapor to me does. I mean, he's kind of the official MTL guy, in my opinion. He's like I hadn't got to watch his video on it till yet. If any of y'all watched it, what did it is what's the problem? Was YouTube harassing him, or what was the deal? What was his problem? Well, see out here, Neil, you can go. You don't need a license for anything. You can conceal or open carry, your choice. It's just your choice. You don't need a license for none of it. You just can't. You're not supposed to go in a bank or go in a bar or a casino. There's a few places you're not supposed to carry in. Whether people adhere to that, as far as concealed carry goes. I don't know whether they all worry about it or not, but well, Adrian, he just needs to take a break. Hell, I mean, unless because he seemed to enjoy doing the videos. He's kind of like me, he seemed to enjoy doing them. And he just, he just needs to just take a break. Don't worry. I mean, don't take your channel down or stop, doing videos. Just wait till, you get a piece in and, you want to do a video about something. And just, take a break. Don't, a lot of people get caught up in thinking they got to put a video out every day or every week or every month. Well, if you buy into the YouTube algorithm bullshit, I guess you can worry about that. or if you're worried about making money on YouTube, which I don't see how vapors do that anymore at all, uh, I guess. But otherwise, just take a break. Hell, if it's a month or two before you get another device in, then it's a month or two. I hadn't had a new tank in I don't know how long. It's been quite a while. Well, Andrew, I'm still happy with mine, the 24. And I mean, I don't know. Like, the only reason you'd want a smaller one is to fit it on a mod or a side by side, because I bet you the deck. I don't know if that's 22. It may be a tad smaller deck, but the deck size and all that. I mean, they're all like the same. It's a K-Fun deck. They're almost all identical. And you can turn the airflow off on this one completely. So, if you crank that screw in all the way, it's shut off. It's off. So, you're not going to get one with a tighter draw. But I'd want to wait on the clone regardless. Yeah, you're correct on that. Because I'm real happy with my little clone. I think Mick from Australia had trouble with the one he got. I think it's got I think there's a bad O-ring on it somewhere, or something's loose. That's what I think. He says it always floods when he refills it. But and I don't know what clone he got. Hey, there's Mick. We're just talking about you, buddy. Was your ears burning? We were talking about the K-Fun's X's. Yeah, even all the little K-Fun's I got the deck is almost identical, except for I think there was some primes that were supposed to be direct lung or something like that. I remember. I think they might have had a little bigger deck or little different style, but the normal ones were, all about the same size. So the combustion chamber, that ain't the right term, but the chamber, the vapor chamber is still about the same size on all of them. I'll say combustion chamber because to me, I translated over into what it would be in a car. Yeah, Mick, I was telling about the trouble you was having with your K-Fun X leaking when you try to refill it. Now, to give you a little heads up on the video I was doing, let me get this off here. Come on. Oh, well, that's fine. This morning, put it back on the mod. Can't vape this long. Let's see. I almost need some batteries. Let's go. 30 watts. Anyhow, what I did was I took this old ass Chris and I put some vertical coils in it. And I did Mark's method from Nature Vape, his wicking method, used his wicking method. And this thing it's phenomenal. And it's just round wire. It was just a couple of round wire vertical coils. And my God, it's vaping like nobody's business. Oh, that's good flavor. It's way too strong a nicotine now for the, for those two vertical coils. And I had two horizontal coils in it, and I could vape 20 milligram in it all day long. And this is 18, and it's too much. Man, that's some good flavor though. I gotta put some batteries in this thing. Not dead. Anyhow, that's what the video was about. The main gist of the video was if you got something on your shelf collecting dust, get it down and play with it a little bit, and you might be surprised at how good a vape you can get. And my other example I used on that video was this this Squape Arise, because I have two of them. Of course, they're clones, and they were both of them were sitting up on the shelf collecting dust. And Mark kept saying on some of his shows that he was thinking about buying one, and I really couldn't see why he wanted to buy something that was a year old. But so I drug one of them down, put a Clapton coil in it, and well, hell, it's vaping just fine. And I'm trying to figure out why the hell did I set it on the shelf to begin with? Yeah, K-Phones have always been good. There was one of the primes that for some reason I never could get some as good a flavor on as some of the rest of them. But I've always liked K-Phones, even back in the day when you had to take the damn little screw out of the bottom to fill the damn thing up with a syringe. You know, they always vaped good. I always liked them. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, Josh. I saw the thumbnail for it, but like I say, I didn't see it until I was checking. I fired up my YouTube to see if I was live or not. I'll have to check him out. But yeah, he might but just be getting a little, I don't know, a little burnout or something. But yeah, he just may need to step back, take a break, and don't worry about it. If you don't put a video out but once a month, okay, then that's what you do. It's not that big a deal. He might be getting a little burnout. You get that way sometimes. I'm sure I'd get burnt out if I, uh, had to do a whole bunch of videos every damn day or some bullshit like that. I'd probably get burnt out. Maybe what saves me is not having to do as many, and taking a different route about it, and not really worrying if I go 3 months without putting out a product video. Well, I'm not about to run down to the vape store and get a whole handful of damn disposables just so I can do videos on them. That ain't happening. Oh, are you talking about this one, Adrian? Yeah, this is the one that Mark was talking about. It's the Squape Arise, or A, and then they got parentheses Rise. Is the way they do it. Why I don't know, but most people just call it the Squape Arise, and it's just basically it's the same as the Enduro, but I didn't never get the Enduro. I skipped that model, and I got these, and it's a good little deal. I've got a couple of I've got like I say I got two, and you can go check them out. But it's the Scraper Eyes, and I think you can still get the clone. Of course, this is the clone, and it's the company that starts with a Y. I don't remember it's just letters YTDK or some bullshit. And I bought two, and this was the one I preferred. Mark was confused though. I don't know whether I guess he don't watch videos. He ought to go watch my damn videos if he's because he didn't have a clue. He was concerned about the airflow because when you turn it, you can cut back on the outside airflow and the juice flow at the same time. It controls both at the same time. And he was all concerned about that. And I'm going, well, dude, you got inserts under the coil. That's where you change your airflow. You just, you crank this to the max and juice and airflow, crank that shit to the max and control it underneath your coil. That's where you want to control it. It comes with like, I don't know, 4 inserts. And hell, they're just plastic. It may even have extra different ones you can buy. But it comes with like 4, I think. And yeah, he was all concerned about cutting the airflow down by twisting it. And it's like, that's not how you do it. Just crank that shit wide open and roll and control it underneath. Well, that's good, Neil. I guess those cables seem to be keeping your cotton good and saturated. That's kind of a old school way of doing it, but when shit works, leave it the hell alone. You know. Yeah, Josh, I'm gonna leave him. I'll when I watch the video, I'll definitely leave a comment on it. And of course, Andrew, if I did a disposable video, I would have to when I got done, or when it ran out of juice or whatever. I mean, I would actually include in the video how to take the damn thing apart and refill it with juice. And of course, I don't think I would ever buy one that I had to throw away when the battery ran out, even though you can take them apart and recharge your batteries. But that's you'd be getting into the danger zone of showing somebody how to do that. But I would definitely take the damn thing apart and enough to refill it with juice. Especially because I'd buy one that would be rechargeable. So, we'd run it till the damn coil petered out. That's how I would do the review on one. And I would also bring up the fact that, well, if you refilled it with your own juice, you'd know what the hell was in it. So, it ain't like they're going to send me one to do for free. Oh, sound like we had a little dust devil just then. Felt the house creak a little. We get those out here. They're they're little bitty tornadoes, or call them whirlwinds. We call them dust devils. They get pretty big out here too. They'll take a little storage shed if you got the door open so the wind can get in it. One of those little cheap ones you buy at Walmart. Yeah, it'll take it with it if you got the door open. If they get up, hell, they'll get up at least maybe 100 foot or more tall. It looks like a little mini tornado, and we get those all the time. I'm still rocking my K-Fun X with my RY4 in it with my coffee. That's it now. If I'm drinking coffee, I'm vaping this. And I guess the wind picked up looking at my internet connection. I thought we were going to be all right today, but I guess not. Now, I didn't wear my other woke shirt today. I should have. I was planned on it, but when it came showtime, I was in a rush. So, but it looks like the Bud Light thing hadn't died down. In fact, it's kind of growing. It's kind of hilarious as hell. And Adrian and Andrew, I did go to the, I just went to Walmart though the other day and reached to buy some supplies to make the cinnamon rolls I sell on Saturday. And I did look. I was going to get a Guinness beer to try, and they didn't have any in the singles department. And I wasn't about to buy a whole 6-pack of it because I would not have drank it. I'd ended up giving it away because it wouldn't have mattered if I'd have bought a 6-pack of Miller Genuine Draft. I wouldn't have drank all 6. But I am going to stop. I got to find some place where I can buy a single of the Guinness Stout was what I was looking for, and maybe even a draft stout. The way I see they sell it over here, and just so I could see what the hell it tasted like. But the Bud Light thing is just and see, I've never had anything like, I've never ever tasted any beer, any IPA, any of that stuff. Not just commercial regular beer is the only thing I've ever drank. And but I'm gonna get me one if I can find a place that'll sell me just a single, even if I have to go to a bar and buy it, and tote it out, or sneak it out, or something. I just want to see what it tastes like. But now it will be cold. I ain't gonna do that room temperature thing. I will chill it. Well, hello, Victor. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming by. I'm doing pretty good besides my internet connection messing up a little today. But back to the dual coil thing. I was really impressed with how good that made that Crius vape with those vertical coils. Of course, I did vertical coils on stuff before, and have usually, noticed an improvement. And I was really impressed with how much better that was. And those were the ones I put in there were like just 2.5 ID coils, 2.5 millimeter IDs. They were small, but my God, it really just, I mean, it puts out the damn, uh, the juice. Of course, you know, the without mentioning any names, you know, the experts claim that dual coils don't put out any more vapor than a single coil. Okay. It's like, okay, bye, Felicia. You know, but that's what they say. And I noticed, now I did notice, I tell you some little peculiar things. And this is the reason, you know, you can say, oh, you're, uh, well, Victor, I own one RDTA and it's at least 8 years old. And I didn't like it. Of course, back in them days, none of them were any good. But I could not advise you on that. Maybe some of these other fellows in here in chat can advise you, because when it comes to an RDTA or an RDA, that is way out of my wheelhouse. Well, I bet anything down there, Mick, is expensive if it's imported, because you know it's kind of like the the poor folks that live in Hawaii. You know, it's like everything but the coffee is imported. So coffee and fish, coconuts. There you go, Victor. Adrian gonna help you out. I can see the oh, he understands the tank, Victor. He's just asking what kind of airflow you like, the direct lung or restricted direct lung or mouth to lung. I don't even know. I think most RDTAs were direct lung or restricted direct lung back in the day when I knew about them. I don't know, Andrew, it sounds like a lot of money, whether you convert it or not. That's way too much money for one can of damn beer. I don't care. Oh, for 4 cans. Okay, all right. Well, now for 4 cans, that sounds like a bargain over here. Because unless you was buying that Bud Light that they're having the controversy on, you were spending a hell of a lot more money than that. But the Bud Light was kind of dirt cheap. Yeah, but $4.75 for 4 cans, that's not unreasonable. Well, hello, Joey. How you doing, buddy? First time I think I've seen you in chat. Thanks for coming by. But back to the about me noticing things. The last 2 to 3 days. Hmm. Yeah, Neil, that's what was the best term I heard was Bud Light was just water. What was the name? What's the term? I forgot it last week when I tried to say it. I think Bud Light was just water impersonating a beer or something like that, posing as a beer. But you know, to me, any of that, none of that light beer ever had a lot of flavor to it. You know, I mean, they have to take shit out to make it light. And it's like, oh, look, it's 1 calorie less than our regular beer. But anyhow, back to what I've been noticing. You know, there for weeks, but Bud corporate, Anheuser-Busch they were silent on social media, silent. And then they came out with this commercial with just one of their Clydesdales running through the country, running down a dirt road, running down a city street. You know, they were trying to get back in their good graces of all the people they pissed off. Well, that didn't work. But if I go to YouTube and click on a video of all these people that are just bashing the hell out of Bud Light, if you click on one of those videos, that Clydesdale commercial comes up before you get to watch the video, you know, unless you're paying for the Prime YouTube, so you don't have to watch commercials. So, and it's happened way too many times. You know, either the algorithm is intentionally putting that commercial in front of this video, or the people, you know, Anheuser-Busch requested that they run this commercial in front of a video that bashes them. I thought that was kind of funny. It's not working worth a damn, but I guess, you know, what gets me is a big company like that is they'll hire this old dumb marketing vice president that they hired that started all this shit. You know, they hired them. Well, they screwed up. So what did they do? Then they run out and hire this PR firm to fix the problem. And what did they do? They didn't fix the problem. So, you know, maybe, you know, the old adage of, you know, do it yourself, DIY. You know, maybe they should quit paying these people that are not producing results and just do the shit themselves. I mean, all right, Victor, thanks for coming by, buddy. You're welcome anytime. I didn't know that Brunhilde would do an MTO. Hell, I thought it was strictly At the very least was RDTL. I didn't even have I didn't know it would do a MTL. Of course, one of the other big things over here in well, I guess is I don't know how much press. I guess I could ask my UK guys. Yeah, Neil, you can buy the damn little kits nowadays. And it's I think almost absolutely legal anywhere to make your own beer. It's a big, a lot of people do that. When I was a little bitty kid, my daddy and the neighbor made some because the county we lived in at that time in Texas was completely dry. You couldn't buy any alcoholic beverage whatsoever. And it was a pretty good ways over to where you could. So they decided to make some beer. And neither one of them knew what they were doing. And of course, this was 60 years before the internet. So they were flying blind basically. And but anyhow, they brewed some shit up that stank. It stunk to hog heaven, and they did it on the back porch and in this big old vat, thing, and uh, bottled it up. They let it sit there and ferment forever, and then bottled the shit up. And of course, back in them days, the farmhouse we lived in didn't have no air conditioning. You had nice windows, and the house was built for ventilation, and put a little window in, a little fan in the window, you was good to go. Anyhow, they bottled that shit up and had it sitting on the back porch on top of it was out of the sun, of course, but on top of the deep freeze, the freezer. And I was just a little kid. I was in there watching cartoons on TV, and I started hearing this weird noise, pop, psh, pop, psh. Walked back there and looked. The shit had done got hot, and it was blowing the tops off the bottles. And they were the crimped on tops, and they were all long neck bottles they had gotten somewhere and cleaned the bottle to reuse it. Anyhow, that shit was blowing up left and right, blowing the tops off them bottles. And they grabbed what they could. Of course, they had to be careful because the weakest point was going to explode. If the glass in the bottle was the weakest point, then the glass was going to give up the ghost, and otherwise the top was going to give up the ghost, the cap. So anyhow, they gently, it was like toting bottles of nitroglycerin. They gently grabbed them, and they didn't want to put them in the icebox because if one of them blew up in the icebox, it would be a hell of a mess, and all the food would be screwed. So they grabbed what they could and eased them over and put them under the house. Because it was a lot cooler underneath the house, you see. And if I remember right, it ended up tasting like shit, but they gave it a try. Yeah, Andrew, I think you can make beer anywhere. Now you can almost make whiskey or moonshine or whatever you want to say. You can almost make it anywhere. It gets when it gets illegal is when you try to sell it. The last I had a count, where was I at? I think in Kentucky. You could make, if you wanted to make whiskey or moonshine, you could make up to, I don't remember the exact number now, but it was a bunch. You could make up to so many gallons a year as long as you consumed it or you give it to immediate family members. It was something along that line. It was legal. But it was I mean, when you went to a gathering or party or celebration or whatever there in Kentucky, hell, it was fruit jars full of moonshine all over the place. Hell, almost everybody ever made it. Yeah, I don't think it matters much out here, Andrew. I think it's in most states. I think you can make either one. It's just when you start selling it, that's when you run afoul of the law. Otherwise, you're good. You're good to go. Especially if you're making it just for yourself, you're good to go. But yeah, Neil, it was this huge, like pottery crock. I mean, it was big. Hell, I could climb off into it when I was a little kid. See, that's something else I ain't never tried, Neil. I ain't never had any mead to speak of. I don't even know if I can even buy any of that anywhere. But I would like to see what it tastes like. Now, Andrew, if you make your own wine, do you use grapes or do you use some other kind of fruit? Like I say, my father and another different neighbor, they tried to make some wine out of blackberries one time. And I don't think it tasted worth a shit, but they made it anyhow. Damn, we got to wait 6 months. Wow. That's as bad as aging that uh, whiskey. That's a long ass wait time. It's like my internet's still just coming and going, coming and going. I did notice one other thing while I was, for some reason, my YouTube, while I was looking at the Bud Light videos. Uh, the deal topic in the Congress at the moment is dealing with the uh, transgender males competing against the female athletes. They seem to be having a problem coming up with a solution to that. I'm sorry. I don't. Why are you having a problem with this? This. And it's amazing when you look back. This is why they don't teach history anymore. It's over here anyhow. The kids, our little kids, no, they don't teach them history. They don't want them knowing about the history. But history will give you an answer to a hell of a lot of problems if you just take the time to research it. And for this problem of the transgender males competing against the females, well, it's real simple. Let's do it like the Olympics used to be done, where everybody competed nude. I'm not lying. Look it up. Of course, back in them days, back in the Roman era, yeah, the athletes competed in the nude. Well, that would solve your problem, because it'd be real simple when they, when they get up on the. I can just see it now. They get up on the podium. You got your gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. The podium. Okay. Well, you got this person on the gold position, and he's that. Well, I shouldn't say he. That person, he's swinging. Person in the silver position, they ain't swinging. Bronze position, they ain't swinging. Now, how much would the audience, how much of that do you think they would abide by before they demanded the money back for their tickets? Oh. You might need to well, of course, I guess I don't know that much about making wine, but I know about making you could use, if nothing else, you could use the wild plums as a flavoring agent. And if you needed more sugar, in other words, if there wasn't enough natural sugar in the wild plums to get your fermentation going, you could always add some sugar and just have the wild plums as a flavoring agent. But yeah, history will solve 90% of your problems for you if you just research it. It's like the pandemic. It's like if you go back, do a little research, World War II type stuff. You'll find where they were, working on the not chemical warfare, it's something else. What is it called? Germ warfare, I guess. It clearly shows from the history, don't fuck with this. Leave this virus alone. There you go. All you got to do, pay attention to history, and most of your problems will not occur to start with. But we not that smart. Well, the person stops and thinks about it. The amount of time, effort, money, resources that the human race has pissed off trying to kill each other, okay, we could have already colonized Mars. We could have terraformed the planet. People could be living there, if you took all that money that we've devoted over history, the money, time, and effort into killing each other, we could have colonized Mars by now. Hey, Cameron, how you doing, buddy? Cameron, most people don't. It regardless. Uh, regardless of even the trans people. Uh, uh, Almost nobody except the ones competing agree with it. Uh, if you just poll people. I think maybe that if you completely had all operations and you were on the hormones for I don't know several years, okay, maybe the playing field might be a little more level, but until then, I think you're still gonna, the original male would still have uh, a benefit, But yeah, like you say, eventually you're going to lose, your muscle mass, especially if you're taking the hormones and you're not, and whatnot. But it's eventually maybe then you've got you might level the playing field a little bit, you know. But for the ones I've seen that have been the ones in the spotlight lately were just mediocre male competitors that could not even place in the male division, just all of a sudden growing their hair long, nothing else, grow their hair long, and then hop on the women's side. Well, come on, really? You know, that's the only ones I've seen. The ones that are, like halfway famous about it, or making a show out of it and whatnot. I mean, it never should have been an issue, in my opinion. But I'm old fashioned. What can I say? But I do believe in, you do you. I don't care. I'm happy with it. Of course, now I would, I feel sorry for the women athletes that have devoted a lot of time and effort into training and whatnot. But uh, as a gambler, okay, when when you develop your skill and your level of knowledge and whatnot to the point uh, that you can take the casinos for a killing, you can just make money off of them. What they'll do is they'll change the rules. Okay, and if you can't overcome that rule change, then okay, then I just don't play the game no more. And that's what I do. If somebody, and regardless, it doesn't matter if it's a job, or casino gambling, some kind, or anything else. If they change the rules too much, I'm out. I'm out. and I just move on to something else. And like I say, I do feel sorry for all the women athletes that have, devoted so much time and training. But you know, if that's the way the world's going, then you know, uh, switch over and get you some kind of uh, better career, you might say, because and I understand they're doing it to get college scholarships. Uh, but I'm not. I never was a big fan of that anyhow. Andrew, everybody's welcome to their opinion. I mean, I'm one of the most opinionated guys out here. Never be afraid of stating your opinion. You know, if we hadn't lived as long as we have lived, and if we hadn't lived in the time era that we lived in, we could have been born and died, and never ever known about this. But yeah, like I say, though, the only ones I've seen, and I've never seen, I've yet to see somebody that was originally born as a woman wanting to switch over to the male side. I'm sure maybe there's a few out there in certain sports, but you don't see too many of them. You know, all you see basically are uh, uh, the males that couldn't compete in with their counterparts. Switching over that's the ones that's all in the news. You know, that's the ones that are all in the news. So I don't know. Yeah, Cameron, even recently, because I'm getting old, and my blood work the other day showed my testosterone. I can barely say that damn word. Level is low. It's not dangerously low, but it's low. But I'm old. That happens. Uh, of course, she was all eager to give me some patches or pills or injections or whatever, And I said, no, I said, I think I'll just pass. I said, I'm old. And don't really, it'll be all right. I mean, I can still put on muscle if I get out there on my weight machine. I may not can put it on as fast as I did when I was young, but I can still make my muscles get a little bit bigger. So, you know, uh, that's another one of those pills they like to push nowadays, especially on men. I don't know that I've ever had any kind of steroids as far as any kind. Because nowadays they give them out for all kinds of medical issues, and I can't ever recall ever having any kind of steroids. And I know y'all are talking about I think they're called anabolic steroids and whatnot, you know. But my God, my poor old wife here a while back, she had an allergic reaction to a body wash soap, and just had a hellacious skin reaction to it, and they put her on some kind of steroids, and the steroids kind of cured the rash, but the side effects from the steroids was in reality worse than the damn rash. She had a bad reaction to them, and she took them all just so she could get over it, but the side effects she had from those were a hell of a lot worse than almost worse than the rash was. I got the little piece of paper. It was amazing. It's absolutely amazing if you read the info sheet that comes with some of your prescription drugs. If you read the whole thing, you might end up throwing them damn things in the trash. Because I read the info sheet on this after she started having all these side effects, and they claimed that this steroid pack, it was like you take this many this day and this many that day, and they kind of increased and then dropped off, type deal. And well, they claimed that these damn things would cure. I mean, it was a list of different diseases, and they were all across the board. It was like this shit was supposed to be a miracle drug, according to the claims, And then they had another list about twice as long of side effects. It's like, oh my God. Do do do. Oh. Well, that's great, Neil. Have you heard my story about the A1C? Not mine, but my wife's. Have you have you heard my story about that? And it's true, because I got the blood work like you got. I got the blood work test to back it up. It's not a fairy tale. I think I've said it on several videos. I've talked about it. But I'm glad you got yours down. Because that is, yeah, good. Because she got hers from like 10, 9, 11, 9, some ungodly number. And she's now she's at 4.8 with no medication, none whatsoever. Just changed her diet. That was it. But that is the next. And it's really not the next. It's just, there are so many type 2 diabetics in the world. And why the governments aren't paying attention to this, I have no idea. But it's they claim, and I think they're jiggling the numbers. I really do. Because they claim, that heart problems kill more people, and cancer kills this many people, and and those are the top deaths. But 90%, I think, of those heart problems is a result of the type 2 diabetes deal. I think it's interconnected. I really do. And they don't want to own up to that. But Laying off bread and carbs. Yep, that's all you got to do, brother, is get off the carbs and the sugar. And you can totally quit them, but you'll have about a couple of weeks of withdrawal symptoms. But you can totally quit carbs and sugar. And all right, Adrian, we'll see you next week, brother. Thanks for coming by. And you know, the funny part, Neil talking about the blood work, when I went to get my blood pressure medicine renewed here the other day, the doctor insisted that I get blood work done. Okay. She wouldn't renew my damn prescription unless I got this blood work done. Okay. She did not even do an A1C test. She did not have that done. And I'm going, well, you know, I wasn't concerned with it, but you know, to me, it would have been a waste of money because I know mine's probably, you know, it's probably below 5. If not, it's in the low 5s or even below 5. And, but if she was so damn concerned, you know, she should have been concerned about that. She should have had that test, you know, ordered that test with the rest of the test. But she didn't. So it was kind of, you know, it was kind of curious to me why she didn't do that. Because, you know, most people nowadays, you really ought to have that done, you know. And there's another test. What's it called? Something insulin. It's a word insulin test. I don't remember the exact term for it, but it'll show if you're on the road. It'll show before the A1C will show. It'll show that you got a problem before the A1C will show that you got a problem. Standing insulin test or something like that. But it's one of those most doctors don't order, you know, but it will show you, it'll show a problem before the problem shows up on your A1C level test. And, you know, they just seem to turn a blind eye almost, you know, to it. You know, to me, and it's a pretty bad health crisis in my opinion, but they kind of turn a blind eye to it. Oh, most definitely, Neil. You gotta, you know, you got to. That is a big deal. I've gotten used to it now, so it's kind of second nature, or just my normal routine. But we do the intermittent fasting, and on the weekdays, we don't consume a single calorie, not 1 calorie carb, nothing as far as carbs or calories till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then if I'm hungry at that time, I'll have some mixed nuts, walnuts and pecans, almonds, and a cup of coffee with heavy cream. Okay. Now in the morning, I just drink black coffee, so I don't break my fast. But you know, in the afternoon, saying if I'm not hungry, I'll just have the cup of coffee with heavy cream, and then we eat supper about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and we eat till we're full. You know, we don't overeat, don't stuff, but eat till I'm, you know, happy. And then that's it till the next day at 3 o'clock. And we've done it so long that I don't even get hungry till then. And independent, if I had, if I've sat in a damn recliner all day watching YouTube, I'm not even hungry. Now, if I go out in the garage and do quite a bit of work, then I get hungry. And well, hello, Lou. How you doing, buddy? First time I think I've saw you in here. It stinks with a sticky, sweet, clinging vapor that contaminates surfaces, can't easily be removed. Now, Lou, are you against vaping? Oh. Now, Neil, if you really want to knock it, go to the next level. You gotta leave those behind too, buddy. I hate to be the one to tell you. So, Lou, why are you? Why in the world are you even in my chat? Why are you watching my deal? You know this is a vaping deal. Vapor that smells like unicorn farts. Well, if it was such a thing as a unicorn, and if it was magical, I would think their farts would probably smell pretty good. I don't seem. You need that. Are you on live chat, Neil? You may have to switch to live instead of top. No. Now, he does have a point. He does have a point because if you vape a high VG, which almost, unless you DIY, and even then, now everybody's gone to the high VG, you really cloud up your house, it'll definitely collect on the inside of your windows. You'll get a layer of VG on the inside of the windows. And since it's glycerin, it does take a little bit to get it off there. Not quite as bad as nicotine, as the residue we used to get from when we smoked. It's not quite as bad as that, but it's a pretty good little film. I don't get it here in my house because I don't vape high VG and I don't blow clouds. But I have seen it, I think in my wife's truck on the inside of her windshield. I have noticed a little bit of buildup on it. But yeah, it depends on how you vape too, because I don't really chase clouds. But yeah, if you chase clouds with a high VG, you'll get a little film, especially on the inside of your windows. Now, whether it's on everything else, I don't know. I would kind of almost assume it would be, but you don't notice it. You see it. The inside of the windows is usually where you see it, especially if you're in a high humidity region, which of course we're not that either, but high humidity region where you get a lot of condensation on the inside of your windows. In your house, it's a little more apparent. So Lou does have a halfway legitimate comment there. I don't know about the unicorn farts, but there was a juice called unicorn something. Something had to do with unicorns. Unicorn blood, was it? Or something like that? I don't remember now exactly. But I remember there was a name of a juice that had unicorn in it. Oh, you vape outside. You're one of the poor people that can't even vape inside. Luckily, I can vape inside my house. Took me 3 years to build this damn thing. Guess what? When I smoked, yeah, I smoked inside my house. Mainly because it was my house. Now, I am very courteous when I go to somebody else's house. And of course, I don't, unless they both vape or smoke, then I'll vape and smoke inside their house. But if they don't, our friends down at down the at Bullhead, they go outside. They got a real nice outdoor patio, and the guy he smokes like a freight train, and but he goes outside, so I go outside with him. Most of us that used to smoke seem to be more respectful uh, about where we vape than the ones that never did smoke. Just seems like to me. Maybe I'm imagining stuff, but it just seems like if you smoked then and you switch to vaping, you're a little more respectful of people, and you watch where and how you vape. Just seems to be a trend, in my opinion. I could be wrong. For instance, the other day when I went with my neighbor Stan down to for his doctor's appointment, I didn't vape in his truck. I'm sure if I'd asked him, it would have been fine, but to me, it was just common courtesy not to. So I didn't even ask if I could or nothing. I just didn't. And damn, I survived. How about that? All right, Andrew. We ain't gonna be on much longer. We done rattled on for an hour and a half now. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Yeah, we used to have air purifiers back when we smoked. That helped a lot. It kept it from accumulating on other things. When we switched over to vaping, we both do mouth to lung, so uh, it and I guess because the house is so big, and a lot of days we'll have the windows open when it's decent outside. It's just never been an issue after we switched to vaping. But we do 50-50 juice, and most of the time, and like I say. And there's Robert. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Oh, you've been here for a while, huh? Yeah, you got to hit that send button, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Oh. Now, just between me and you, Robert, if obviously Fagan don't appreciate the gifts you send him, so you can just send them my way, and I will actually do a damn review on them, and whether I use them or not, I will not sell them or give them away. They was giving him hell last night about that. People in chat were. Yeah, last night on ST's show. They was giving him hell. Oh. Got too many damn things sitting here. And I swear, I know some of y'all have experienced this, but I swear I can have a device sitting way over on the kitchen island, okay? And I can have a device sitting on my coffee table. And if I knock the one sitting on my coffee table over, the one sitting on the damn kitchen island will fall over. I swear to God it will. It's like, don't matter how you do it, you get that domino effect going. You touch one and all them damn things fall over. And I mean, a lot of times I'll go to extremes and make sure I set them far enough apart. Shit, that don't even work. You knock one of them over, the rest of them are going to fall. I swear I could have one in the kitchen cabinet and it would fucking fall over if I knocked one over in the next room. But yeah, I don't know why in the hell I had that squape sitting on the shelf collecting dust. That's a good bait. I don't know that every juice I got would taste it good in it. Right now I got the upside down pineapple upside down cake juice in it. It's fine. In fact, it tastes better. That juice tastes better in this than it did in my Fev. I need to go back either through the lives or through my videos and find out what flavored juice I first vaped in that Fev, because not every juice I got tastes that good in there. Some of them taste better in other tanks. But there was two juices, I think. There was two that tasted real good in that Fev. And I need to go back to see what the hell they were. But I really can't get over how good this, come on, let go. I really can't get over how good this, these little two vertical coils in this old Chris are working. They are just phenomenal. Bump those wattage up a little bit. There we go. Wow. I really wasn't expecting that much flavor from 2.5 coils. I figured I'd have to go up to 3. If I put 3mm coils in there, I could cloud chase with this damn thing. If I wanted to. And I had another idea. I don't know how brilliant it is, but I did have another idea. I got to see if I can do it. I don't know why. You know, it's one of them things where, well, can you do it? Should you do it? Why would you want to do it? But I want to, where's the deal? I wanted to see if I could find a tank, just a normal RTA that I got collecting dust up there. I don't know which one it would work in, but what I wanted to do was try to find one that I could do a vertical mesh coil in. You know, one of these that you buy to rebuild the Watofu little sub-on coil with. But I was thinking if I could uh, just a regular RTA and figure out me a way to mount this little one of these little coils in and just see what would happen. Have no idea. Just one of them, try it and see what happens thing. Because those legs, if you're careful, those have those non-resistant legs. If you're careful and easy, you can kind of bend them any way you want to bend them. Have you tried that yet, Neil? Have you tried anything like that? 'Cause I think you bought a whole bunch of those little mesh strips with the legs on them, if I remember correctly. I should have bought some, right as Fast Tech was going belly up. They had them dirt cheap, and I really should have stocked up on them. Hell, they were $1 and $2 and something like that for a whole batch of them. I should have stocked up on them when it was before the end, but I didn't. But that's my next little idea when I get bored. Only trouble I can foresee on that is because I learned from doing rebuilding the sub-ohm coils and those Watofu coils that you had to get the cotton extremely tight around that mesh, otherwise you get a dry hit. And that's the only concern I have. If I try to rig something up like that, if I can get the cotton tight enough around it, with it just kind of standing, free out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the RTA. If I can get the mesh tight enough, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do a normal, hooped mesh, because they got the cotton stuffed under with the little spring holding it up against it. I don't want to do something like that. I don't want to do one like that, but I want to do just a vertical one. And my concern is if I can get the cotton tight enough around it so I don't get a dry hit. That's my concern. Of course, I may not have a whole lot to worry about because I'm not gonna hit it at no 50, 60 watts anyhow. That's just not how I vape. Yeah, I thought you bought a whole slew of them. I should have. I really, had a little afterglow on that one. But I do have wow. I think I should have bubbling like hell. I think I should have put less cotton in what passes for a juice channel on this one. I think I should have put a little less cotton in it. So it would have, it's not giving me a dry hit. It's just got a little afterburn effect going on. Yeah, Josh, I only got the few that's left in that the little kit I bought from Watofu. But I'm pretty sure you can still buy those even on 3F. I think they sell the Watofu ones. Yeah, didn't get no afterburn that time at all. Yeah, I should have put less. Uh, I should have put less cotton in the juice channels. I think I only done that one time before, and hell, it was 8 years ago, I think. Well, what do you think about my idea, Josh, of rigging up one of those vertically in just a regular RTA? But I know you'd like to do kind of experimental stuff every now and then. Because I've got all kinds of little different size tools I made to rebuild the sub-ohm tanks or sub-ohm cools, the throwaway ones. I've got a whole selection of little tools I made, so I can get the mesh molded to whatever size I want, and just need to be a little bit. Of course, I need an RTA that has a center hole. It's not going to work on a side airflow or any of that kind of deal. It needs to be a bottom feed center hole type airflow. And I guess the mesh needs to just be a little bit bigger than whatever insert you're going to put in it. But I've got an array of different size little tools to shape the mesh to whatever inside diameter I want. Unless you go too little, you can't go too little with those mesh, because they'll end up touching. The leads will touch each other if you go too low. But I guess you can go to probably about a 2.5 or something. I think it's about as small as you can go with them. Maybe you can go to a 2. I don't know. Let's see. But I thought about it. Just see what it would do. I don't know that I can't come up with any reason that it would be any better than just a regular sub-ohm mesh coil. I can't come up with any reason it would be any better. A vape, it would be a whole lot easier to change the cotton and rewick it, because then you could, if you had the little mesh mounted like a regular vertical coil, you could just take the cotton out, dry burn it, and put new cotton in, and it would actually be easier to rewick it than it would be to rebuild one of the coils, one of the throwaway coils. A vertical fused Clapton in the Dead Rabbit. All right. I don't think I've done any kind of Clapton vertical coil. The two I put in that, just 26 gauge round wire. and they're putting out more vapor than I want. So I've done several of those, and I don't know if I've done a PNP, because I'm not really up on those sub-ohm coils. about which ones are called what, but I've done 3 or 4 different models, and I had to make different tools for each one, and to be able to take them apart without tearing them up, and then put them back together without tearing them up. And I had success with every one of them I did. But like I say, I had to, fashion me some tools. Of course, for me, that's not that big a deal. I just go out in the garage and get on the lathe and make whatever I need to make. But the only one I give up on was those damn Anakin, the Z coils. I just gave up on them. Man, those things are. I mean, I finally got it apart, but my God, they were just the most damn elaborate little throwaway coil I ever seen in my life. And all right, Mick, you must be heading to head off to work. Have a good day, brother. Thanks for coming by. You're always welcome. The only thing I really like, I love the fact, even though I don't use them, my wife uses them. And I have another Zlide tank up there. If I wanted to use them, I could. The only thing I really like about these little Z coils is you get a new 510 connection with every damn coil. And that's part of what makes the damn thing so hard to rebuild. But, you get a new 510. So, it's like, if you screw up the 510 on a tank, on an regular RTA, 9 times out of 10, you got to throw it away, or unless you can buy a new base for it. But yeah, I got to really, I give credit where credit's due, and to me, that's a big thing. Getting a brand new 510 on every damn coil, it's like, okay, that's kind of neat. But that's what makes them so damn hard to rebuild if you try to rebuild one of them. They're actually quite elaborate compared to other coils. Even I rebuilt some of those, what was the brand name? Small amp. The dual, they had 2 little small coils in this huge ass housing. I mean, I've done some of them, and hell, they were easier to do than than those Z coils. I mean, all you had to do was keep up with the legs, which legs were what, wasn't that big a deal. All right, Josh, take it easy, brother. Thanks for coming by. Like I said, we've almost rattled on for 2 hours. We ain't gonna be here much longer, cause I'm officially out of coffee, and eventually I'll have to cook supper tonight, because bowling season is over, so my wife will be home tonight, and I'll have to fix something for supper. Used to, most times, for half the year, I get off on Wednesday nights. That's my night off. Don't have to fix supper. And I got to finish editing that video I shot about the coils in this today, and my good old OBS screwed up halfway through, so I got to on the first up close segment where I'm putting the coils in, putting the cotton in, I got to do a voiceover on it, because the OBS totally botched the audio on that section for some reason. It totally killed it. So I got to do a voiceover on that section because I'm not going to reshoot the whole damn video. The picture's fine. I just got to do I'll just have to do a voiceover in editing. So I tell you what, folks, I think we're going to bring it to an end. We've rambled on now for almost 2 hours. I appreciate everybody coming in. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody participating in the chat. And for the folks that watch the rerun, the replay, I guess it's not a rerun, it's a replay. Thanks for watching the replay, and always feel welcome to leave a comment or a question if you got one in the replay deal. Everybody's welcome to leave a comment. It might get deleted if if it's out of line, but you can leave it anyhow. And at this point in time, I don't see a reason why we can't have another show next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. So have a good afternoon, a good night, or a good morning, depending on where you're at. Thanks for coming by and watching. We'll see you later.